Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Ruben Amorim has crashed to a fresh low in his disastrous reign in charge of Manchester United, with the Red Devils now winless in 8 Premier League games. It is a new unwanted club record for Amorim's miserable side. The record was set by a poor defeat to Chelsea on Friday night. To make matters worse, United were playing in front of controlling co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who was in the stands at Stamford Bridge. Amorim had named a strong side for the trip to the capital, somewhat surprisingly ahead of next week's Europa League final. But the visitors were blunt in attack and offered little of note. The Blues secured all 3 points thanks to a late header from Marc Cucurella. The Spanish left-back lost his marker to powerfully head home an excellent cross from captain Reece James. The defeat leaves United down in 16th place, 27 points behind 5th place Aston Villa and a gigantic 44 adrift of champions Liverpool. It also means that Amorim has set a fresh mark among United's worst ever managers. The loss at Stamford Bridge was their 18th league defeat, their most in a season since losing 20 in the 1973-1974 campaign when they were relegated. United have also now gone 8 league games without a win, a club record in the Premier League. It is their worst run since an 11-game winless run between December 1989 and February 1990. The run started with a defeat at Nottingham Forest, before a draw with Manchester City and a hammering at Newcastle. They were then beaten by struggling Wolves before being held by 10-man Bournemouth. Their last 3 games have all ended in defeat, against Brentford, West Ham, and now Chelsea. It is Amorim's second run of losing 3 successive Premier League matches with United. He also achieved the awful feat in December. That is only one fewer run of 3 consecutive defeats than Sir Alex Ferguson had across his 810 games in the competition. More concerningly for Ratcliffe is the fact that since the start of April, United have won fewer points than any other Premier League side, drawing 2 and losing 6 of 8 games in that time. In a clear sign where their make-weakness lies, the Red Devils have now failed to score in the first half of 26 Premier League matches this season, their most ever in a single campaign. Indeed, no side has failed to score in more first halves this season. The defeat followed a furious rant from legendary United skipper Roy Keane. He fumed on Sky Sports. ManUtd must be embarrassed by this. What you want from players is go to good habits. What I see is the lack of fight, the lack of competing. You can forgive teams for losing, but when the manager is coming up most weeks and is scratching his head. Amorim's head is spinning from being Manchester United manager. I get why he thought, I didn't want to get into that mess until the summer. He will be glad to see the back of this season. Some of the games they have just written off. I've never heard so much chat from this club about next week's game. Don't think for 1 minute that this team is going to be top 4 or top 5. They've lost 17 games this season, but they lost 14 last year. It's not just this season. This team just doesn't know how to compete. This is the bit I don't get. Turning up week in, week out is the sign of greatness. And these players, every week they don't know how to compete. Arsenal have revealed David Raya will officially become their number 1 next year after the Spaniard opted to change his shirt number. Raya has been the first choice since last season when he replaced Aaron Ramsdale. He initially arrived on loan, taking the number 22 with Ramsdale in place with the number 1 shirt. Raya made his move to the Emirates permanent last summer, while Ramsdale was sold to Southampton. The Spaniard opted to keep hold of his 22 shirt this season, with Ramsdale having not been sold until late in the window. The number 1 has remained vacant across this campaign, despite Raya playing all but 3 games. Neto has been his main backup, with Tommy Setford and Jack Porter appearing in 1 Carabao Cup game apiece. Boss Mikel Arteta is keen to add to his goalkeeping options in the summer. While he is looking to bring in more competition for Raya, the Gunners have made it clear he will remain Arteta's first choice. The club have announced a move before the transfer window even opens, which firms up Raya's position. It has been announced that Raya will switch shirt numbers from 22 to the number 1. The Gunners confirmed that the Spaniard made the decision to move into the vacant number 1 shirt himself. He follows in the footsteps of David Seaman, Jens Lehmann, Manuel Almunia, Wojciech Szczesny, Petr Cech, Bernd Leno, and Ramsdale. All of them have worn the Gunners' #1 shirt since permanent squad numbers were introduced to the Premier League back in 1993-94. With the number 22 shirt vacant, it has been taken by wonderkid Ethan Nwaneri, who has left his number 53 jersey. The changes will come into effect following the conclusion of the current campaign. Arteta's top target for a new keeper is Joan Garcia, who has impressed at Espanyol. The Spaniard has reportedly made it clear he wants to join the Gunners, with Aston Villa and Barcelona also circling. Arsenal failed in a move for Garcia last summer, but he has admitted he now feels ready to step up, with a spot in Spain's World Cup 2026 squad his aim. He told AP last month, "There was lots of interest last summer, above all from Arsenal, but I stayed here, and from then on, I have been 100% focused on this campaign. We all know the situation, not just mine, but of the club, and anything can happen. But the future will tell, and we will worry about it when the time comes. I think I am goalkeeper that transmits confidence when it comes to making decisions. And through the years, I have learned to accept my mistakes and use them to improve. I think that is something that any football player needs, but especially a goalkeeper. I am proud to be considered one of the goalkeepers who have a chance to go to the national team. It is the highest honour to play for one's country at a World Cup. So if I have that chance, I will give it my all to make it happen." Ruben Amorim has revealed that several key Manchester United defenders, including Diogo Dalot, are trying really hard to ensure they are available for next week's huge Europa League final against Tottenham. The Red Devils will lock horns with their Premier League rivals in Bilbao for the chance to salvage their sorry season with a trophy and an unexpected golden ticket to the Champions League after falling well below expectations on the domestic front. Dalot, Lenny Yoro and Matthijs de Ligt are injury doubts for next week, with Yoro coming off in Sunday's 2-0 home defeat against West Ham. Neither he nor de Ligt were seen in training ahead of United's clash with Chelsea on Friday night. When Amorim was pressed for an update on the trio, he admitted that he is unable to say for sure whether or not any of them will be available for next week's big game. "I don't know if they are going to be available," Amorim said in a press conference on Wednesday. "We are going to try to push because it's the final matches and this is a final. You know that. All the players want to play that really bad. I don't know. I think they will not go to Chelsea on Friday, but we will have a possibility to have some of them for the final. Dalot is trying really bad. I don't want to risk Dalot because when you start getting one injury, second injury follows, and it's a big thing. We cannot have these kinds of problems in our squad. So, we will see, but he's working really hard to get in the final." While United are sweating on the fitness of several defenders, Tottenham are facing up to the prospect of trying to beat their rivals without one of their most influential attacking figures after Dejan Kulusevski underwent surgery for a knee injury on Wednesday. Spurs confirmed the news in a statement, which read, "We can confirm that Dejan Kulusevski suffered an injury to his right patella in our Premier League fixture against Crystal Palace last weekend." Following further specialist consultation, the midfielder has undergone surgery today and will commence his rehabilitation with our medical staff immediately. We're all with you, Decky.